This is a text about Rosa Parks. This text is called Standing Up for Freedom. The right to freedom of thought and speech is something we should not take for granted. Rosa Parks knew this. Her grandparents on her mother's side had both been slaves. Rosa had attended segregated schools from childhood. She had experienced having to walk to school. For the first 6 school years. While white children were provided with bus transportation. After the Civil War in the USA, slavery was abolished. However, that did not mean that slavery ended immediately. Slowly but surely, the situation for slaves changed. Mostly due to slaves who dared to speak up about slaves' terrible situations. Next to some of the words in the text, you can see a number, and these numbers are explained here. A slave is a worker without rights. Segregated schools meant that white American and black American children had to attend different schools. The Civil War was the war between the northern and the southern states in the USA. The civil rights movement fought a non-violent struggle to bring full civil rights and equality to all Americans. In 1896, the civil rights movement was founded. But it would take a great many years before African Americans were to have the same rights as whites in the USA. In 1955, Black Americans were still not allowed to sit wherever they wanted on the buses. One day, on her way home from the shirt factory in Montgomery, the black seamstress Rosa Parks chose not to follow the white driver's instruction. Let us read what happened. On December 1st, 1955, Rosa was sitting on the bus. On her way home from work. She was sitting in the last seat, in the back of the bus. After a few stops, there were no available seats left. And a white man was left standing. The bus driver told Rosa and the other African Americans to stand up and give their seat to the white person. The others did, but not Rosa. The driver then came up to Rosa and wanted to know if she was going to stand up. And she told him she was not. And he told her he would have to have her arrested. And she told him he may do that. Rosa Parks was arrested and charged. But later the same evening, released on bail. On the day of the trial, which took 30 minutes, she was found guilty and had to pay a fine, $10, and a court fee, $4. As a reaction to this arrest, the people started to refuse to take the bus. This boycott lasted 381 days. For African Americans, this was the start of the modern civil rights movement. Which continued to fight for the equal rights for all American citizens.